Shalom Yashrala. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahashim,
Yahawashi,
Bahashim,
Rakakwadash. The honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule on, who taught us this truth, and salutations to all the Akim pushing this word in truth and in sincerity with charity. We're the brothers from the Great Millstone camp here in Chicago, and Lord willing, is an edifying lesson. All right. This lesson is inspired by a situation that happened to a brother today, But the question is, what would YAHAWASHI do? You know what I mean? In certain situations that we find ourselves in, how would the Lord act? How would he react to 2/3, coming at him, sideways and shit? This Proverbs chapter 15, verse 1. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. All right, so here it is. We have to apply wisdom in our walk, knowing that these 2/3 don't have wisdom. They don't know YAHAWASHI. All right, but we do. So we gotta walk differently, man. All right. If a 2/3 coming at you, and threatening you, a soft answer will turn away wrath, man. It's the scriptures, and it's true. You have to supplant. You have to pacify him. You see, we can't right away jump to a carnal mind state. All right, because the carnal mind is enmity with the Most High, man. The Lord hates that shit. Verse 2, Proverbs 15 and 2. The tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. All right. So here it is. We have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding again, man. All right. Remember, this is your wisdom in the sight of the nations. That wisdom's back upon us again, man. Hallelujah. So we have to use it, man. All right. We have to realize and know the times that we're living in right now. You see, these are the same 2/3 that killed us before, man. They're the ones that hated YAHAWASHI. They still hate YAHAWASHI now. And they killed the prophets back then. And they would love to do it now if they could, man. You see? So if you stoop down to their level and you come out with fierce words to stir up their anger, stir up their demons, all right? Hey, the Lord could have it because you didn't apply wisdom and use wisdom, all right? Where the Lord could deliver you into their hands. Now your ass is getting jacked up, You gotta
Right, especially if it's like the brother was saying, threats and all that. I mean, Yahawashi is the best example. He was getting threats. He knew that they wanted to kill him and all that. He could have been like, oh man, fuck that and this and that. But he didn't. He would run away. He would use wisdom. He'll do certain things. It's not because he was scared or anything. He said that I have the power to send a whole legion.
Yeah.
It's just it's not that time, and we have a bigger purpose. We don't want to get caught ourselves in situations that could end up, worse than what they could have. If they're threatening them, then let them threaten you. Just leave it alone. You don't pay no mind to it. Keep it moving. Now, of course, if it's something in front of your face, yeah, you're gonna defend yourself. But it's something that you could avoid, and it's all like, so it's, like they're far away. They're doing it through online or over the phone or whatever the case is. They trust in Yahweh Shai and leave it alone. And again, even if it is in person, still trust in Yahweh Shai. And if the spirit has it, then hey, use wisdom to try to get away from the situation. The brother just mentioned a soft answer turn away wrath. A lot of times, see why these niggas get in fights is because it's all emotion. This guy screams at this guy doesn't like how he screamed at him, now he's screaming back, and now it's rah rah rah. Us, when it comes to these guys, we have to deal with wisdom. If somebody wants to jump you, let's say because they think you're a gangbanger, here in Chicago, at least, more than likely, they're still gonna want to fight you. That's how Jake is. Like, oh, I don't gang, oh, I don't care. I don't know you. You're not from my hood. They still want to fight you, right? You know, a wise thing would be like, look, I'm not your enemy. Then they're gonna look at you like, what the fuck? How? Wait, nobody ever responds to us like that. What do you mean you're not my enemy? Oh, well, your enemy. Now you're over here speaking. Now they're gonna be all confused and like, okay, now it's a whole different. Now you've dealt with it in a way that this world doesn't. So to them, it's the kind of stark struck. I'm like, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? You know. But what you did is what? Use wisdom instead of what? Instead of fucking dealing with it carnally and saying, nah, I ain't no bitch, or whatever the case is. This is Philippians 2 and 5. It says, let this mind be in you, which was also in YAHAWASHI HaMashiach.
Okay.
And that's the mind of what? Trusting YAHAWASHI, using wisdom to get out of hectic situations. You know? That's what we gotta resort to, all the time. Of course, we're here practicing the righteous acts. We're gonna fall short. A just man falls 7 times, so we're not gonna get it perfect all the time. But our whole mindset and motive is to deal like that. And whenever we do fail, to analyze the situation and see what we could have done better. So whenever it comes again, we'll know what type of wisdom to apply.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is Genesis 12 and 3. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee, and in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. Now, this part, the first part is the point that I'm getting at. Those that bless us, hey, they're gonna be blessed. But those that curse us, the Lord's gonna curse them. The Lord's gonna handle them. You see, this is Deuteronomy 7 and 10, and repayeth them that hate him to their face, to destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hateth him. He will repay him to his face. So remember, the Lord's going to rise up to the prey. He's going to rise up to Esau, the rest of the heathens. He's going to rise up to these 2/3 as well, man. All right? We can't take it upon ourselves to exact vengeance, before the time comes. The Lord's going to give us that time to do that. Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, there's a time and place for everything, you see. All right. But right now we're waiting on the Lord, and we're going to have people come up that hate us, that want to kill us, that want to hurt us, do bodily harm, who are going to threaten us. That's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? All right. But we can't waver. All right. We can't go into that carnal mindset and say, yeah, I'm going to do this and that. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. You should be praying to the Lord who controls all things. You remember, the Lord's in control.
Yeah, and if you really want that person to get what they deserve, or really get a harsh punishment, that would be your best option. Leaving it up to YAHAWASHI. He will do the best revenge and all that you could ever imagine. If you take it upon your own hands, you might just get a punch, maybe knock him out, and that's it. The Lord will fuck up his life slowly, fuck up the people around him. The Lord will do way, way more damage than we could ever do with just our bare hands,
Right, if I could get this to back you up, this is Hebrews 10, verse 31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power, man. All right? You gotta understand the power we serve, man. All right, Al-Shadium. Am I saying that right? Al-Shadia? Mm-hmm. All right, demon-like power. Slakium.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, the Lord, we brothers post videos of examples of the Lord jacking people up. One that I always remember is that girl in the bucket. It was just a fucking head in a bucket, and the bitch is still alive. One where here in Chicago, a guy walked by, and his hands were at his shoulders. He didn't have no arms. He just had a hand sticking out of his fucking shoulders, man. You see? I mean, and the list goes on. You know what I'm saying? All right. The Lord, it's a fearful thing to fall into in the hands of the living power, man. Mm-hmm. And if these people, they want to threaten us, they want to come at us, all fucked up, the wrong way, basically, the Lord's going to deal with that, man.
Mm.
All right. The Lord sees who offends us. You know.
I got one.
Go ahead.
This is Matthew 18:7. Woe to the world because of offenses,
Whew.
for it must needs be that offenses come.
That's it.
But woe to the man by whom the offense cometh.
Exactly.
So destruction to whoever offends one of his little ones. You know, as long as we're doing this work, hey, the Lord is always gonna have our back. And judgment to that individual who's afflicting us might not come right away, but it will come. You know.
Right. It tells you it's better that a millstone is tied around their neck and thrown into the depths of the sea or ocean or whatnot.
Oh yeah, it's the verse above it.
Okay.
Matthew 18:6, it says, "But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea." So this death, which is horrible and gruesome, is better for that to happen to that individual that offends us instead of offending us.
Yeah.
Because if he offends us, way worse things are gonna happen. I mean, man, think about it. Like, imagine getting plagued with the plague of the mind,
Yeah.
and now you're just tweaking and seeing things and hearing things like that. That's way worse, because now you're suffering while you're alive still.
Right. Exactly.
I'm gonna skip down to verse 10. This is take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones, for I say unto you that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. So hey, don't think just because the Lord doesn't get them right away that he didn't see it. No, the Lord sees each and every single individual and their actions that they did towards us that offended us. Even if it's just, even if they didn't see that it offended us. Let's say you're like crossing the street. Somebody say, "Hey, move, you asshole! You piece of shit! You're walking too fucking slow," and then they drive off. Right? To them, it's just saying something, right? But to you, you felt anger. You feel like the Lord still takes consideration in that. And He will, get those individuals back. Don't offenses could, when you offend a little one, it could be anything. It could be really whatever offends that little one. It could be name calling. It could be, whatever the case is. The Lord takes heed of all that, and He considers it, and He is gonna avenge us, man. Even if we forget, the situation, the Lord still remembers, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Another thing too, the other side to this is examining yourself, because why is this happening to you? It could be a test to see what you would do, because we ask, what would YAHAWASHI do? All right, now you're in the situation, what would you do? YAHAWASHI prayed to the Father, man. All right, and we gotta do the same thing. We gotta pray to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai. Yahushai is our mediator. You see, but also you might be going off on something where the Lord has led you into the situation so that you can examine yourself, man. All right, and we always got to be in a constant state of examining ourselves, daily, man. You see, this is Proverbs 16, verse 7. When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him, And this is very true. All right. But when your ways don't please the Lord, hey, your enemies are going to come at you, man. All right. And you shouldn't be like, what the fuck? But you should be wondering, like, man, why? What have I done? You know what I'm saying? Where have I slipped at? A wise man, a righteous man knoweth when he slippeth, man. You see? Because we're always constantly, examining ourselves, man. Taking heed to what others have said to us, like what was that, Deuteronomy 1:17, to hear the old and the young or something like that. I'm butchering it. Yeah. Deuteronomy 1:17. Ye shall not respect persons in judgment, but ye shall hear the small as well as the great. And yeah, that's the point right there. Ye shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the judgment is the Most High's, and the cause that is too hard for you, bring it unto me, and I will hear it. Yeah, I wanted to read the whole scripture, but the point is, sometimes other brothers will notice something in you that you're doing that's off, and you gotta take heed to it, man. Whether it's a younger brother or an older brother, man. All right, because it's really coming from the Lord, you see. And that's why we got to stay in the spirit, man, so that we could hear the spirit talking when it's speaking to us, you know?
Yeah, and staying in the spirit will make us analyze the situation better.
Yep.
Because if you're on point, then you'll be like, okay, well, you know what? I know I've been on point, so this is more than likely a test, you know. But what if you're not being on point, then you won't be able to differentiate. Is it a test? Am I getting fucked up because of this? Oh, now you're all tweaking, you know. That's why it's always good to stay in the spirit, and they'll give us more of a sound mind to be able to analyze things better and why things are happening,
Right.
you know. But hey, you know, whatever situation, whatever reason or why it happens, hey, I always do what YAHAWASHI would do.
Right.
You know, he gave us plenty of examples in different situations and how to react to them. You know, so that's always a good mindset to have. So like that, you know, we won't go according to our thoughts and feelings. We'll be like, okay, you know what? Let me relax. Yahushai, you know, said in your patience possess your souls.
Exactly.
Let me be patient because I could lose my soul over this madness. You know what? You know, so on and so forth. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
And with that, we hope this lesson was edifying and exhorting. Again, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'Hashem, Yahawashi, Ba'Hashem,
Rakakwadash,
Rakakwadash.
the Baruch, the apostles, and others, a great millstone, who rule one, who taught us this truth, and salutations to all the Akim, pushing this word in truth and in sincerity with charity. Shalom,
Shalom.
wa, ababa,
Baba.